This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust on you.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45, 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Citizens, that's the voice of our guest that's here, our next guest. He's unhappy with the clip. Well, let's just be honest. Let's just tell everybody what's going on.
Why? What
I
happened?
told DB that too. It sounded like their damn tape was running out. It was like winding
What
down.
happened, DB, to the clip before we announce who's here?
Yeah, thanks, Wonder. No, because I was trying to find a clip from the series, which is coming on, and I guess the source I used wasn't very reliable because Jason Sudeikis, who voices Zorn, his voice is a little bit pitched down already, right?
Yeah.
For the character, because it's an animated character. He's kind of like a He-Man type dude.
Okay.
But I guess I didn't really.
No, it sounded like we were drunk in that clip. Like the whole show just
right.
wasted.
Our unhappy drunk guest is the one and only Mr. Tim Meadows.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Sorry
Forgive
about that.
us.
Forgive us.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Hi, and thanks for having me. And I'm leaving. Goodbye, everybody. How dare you?
So tell us about Son of Zorn. All I saw was the word animated, comedy, new hybrid, live action. What does that all mean?
That well, Zorn is complicated. It's sort of like the movie Roger Rabbit. Remember that movie?
Yeah, of course.
So in this we know that this country called Zephyria exists somewhere in the South Pacific, and it's an all animated country. And we just sort of accept that. So it's not a shock to us when we see these animated characters walking around in our world. Zorn is a barbarian, sort of like He-Man, and his country is like, this war-torn, ridiculous country. But at one time in his life, he was married to a real-life person played by Cheryl Hines, and they had a baby.
Cheryl Hines, she used to play the wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
It's a shame. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So she's the wife, and then and Zorn decides to come back and rekindle his relationship with his son and his ex-wife, but he finds out that I'm married to his ex-wife, or getting married. We're engaged.
Tim, why do you take this on? What made you say, "Yep, sign me up for this crazy world"?
I like working. I do, and the guys that were involved in this, Chris Miller and Phil Lord, they did the Lego movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so this was a movie. When I saw that, that's what got me involved. Mm-hmm. Those guys, I saw that movie with my kids, and I was not expecting it to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a genius way to go about making that movie. So yeah, as soon as I found that they were involved, I signed on.
How many kids you have?
I have 2 boys. Handsome young men.
You told them about Tahitian treats in Detroit before the music. While we were playing music, citizens, I love to bring y'all in on the conversation, and we were all shocked here. We were talking about Tahitian treat. Now you got to go back a little bit to understand this soda. Yeah. It was really cold. I remember having it in the hood in Jersey City, New Jersey, and it was fruit punch, pineapple, grape, and orange. And then Tim chimed in and was like, "I think it's a Canadian company that made Tahitian treat, and you're from."
I'm from Detroit.
So, of course, Detroit, Canada, very close to each other. Did you used to drink Tahitian treats? How do you even know about that?
Yeah, and I think there was actually a lime one Tahitian treat, too. That was like green. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But, yeah, I used to work at a liquor store in Detroit when I was growing up, so I was the stock boy. Mm-hmm. And so I used to stock all of the sodas and beers and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was very familiar with it. I loved Tahitian treat, too.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I used to put seltzer water in mine just to, lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's diabetes soda, right?
That was tooth rot.
High fructose syrup, gallons of it. You know what I'm curious about? Because this is an animated comedy, there are some actors who live for that type of setting because they feel like they're more relaxed. They don't have to deal with hair and makeup. And then other people want more interaction since this is, voiceover work. How do you feel about it?
I wish I could just do the voiceover. That'd be great. You just sit in the booth and just do the lines over and over again. But I enjoy the acting part of it. It's been challenging to shoot the show because we don't have Jason Sudeikis on the set with us. We have a stand-in. So the whole day is we rehearse the scene with the stand-in in the room, and we block it like that. He walks around. We do the scene, and then we take him out. He stands off camera and does the lines as we film the scene.
Wow.
So there's a lot of times where you didn't know exactly where to look because you forgot where he moved to. And so you're imagining him walking around the room. So there would be days where this was all I was doing, is just like looking around and talking to something. There would be like they put an X like where that fire alarm thing is. And,
Yeah.
and that's what I would be talking to, and I'd be like, Zorn, I can't take this anymore,
Yeah.
And after the whole day of like doing that, you start to think you're losing your mind.
Right.
This is really, really a strange way to work.
I was sorry, I don't mean to cut you. I was wondering about that because Zorn is like 8 feet tall in the series, so you have to look up as if you're looking into his eyes.
Right.
And so, when they do CGI in movies, you never know where the eyes are going to be or how big this character is going to look when they finally finish the film. So I guess, did they have any kind of motion capture or any...
No, like we did it, and hopefully, like the technology, like it's nice to say. I think our show ideas are ahead of the technology.
Yeah,
it's like they got to catch up with us. But that's what I think it is. I think I think once if we get a second season, knock on wood, that I think they might be a better way of doing it. But the way we were doing it is the way they've done it for years, like all the way back to like when Tom and Jerry danced with Gene Kelly. It's like you sort of imagine that this thing is there and you just try to set it up so it looks like you're looking at that thing. And, it's weird, but it's like, it comes off good though. I was really happy when I saw the final product. I was like, you really do sense that we are in the same room with Jason, and then you start to see a chemistry from us with the animated character, and that's because the guy that was doing the stand-in work is a really funny actor, and we really liked him. And so once we all got in the flow of what the show was, it just became much more of a easy thing to do.
What's his name? Can you give him some props?
His name is Dan Lippert.
Okay.
That's a cool ass job.
Yeah. He works hard too, because he does all the lines of Zorn, so he has to learn the show as if he was the star of the show.
But don't get paid like the star.
No.
But then, so then is it only around press time that you hang out with Jason and Cheryl?
No, I see Cheryl every day at work because she was another live actress. But I don't see Jason, even though we're sort of friends, and so we text each other occasionally.
Okay.
But there's no interaction with Jason. And I'd like for there to be. I like Jason a lot. I'd like to have more time with him.
I want to step in for a second. Tracy, this is like Roger Rabbit. They're
Oh,
actually
right,
acting
right,
together.
yeah.
They're not doing voiceover work, okay? Just so everybody knows, right? HB.
Yeah, we were just bringing you in. Tracy wanted the picture painted. She didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Basically,
you, though.
Tim
So-
is like, Jason, I'm at work. You're not, but this is your show. How
Right.
you doing? That's what's going on.
Yeah, so Jason does the voice of Zorn, who is this like He-Man like character.
Right.
And Cheryl and I are actually real life people. So when we're doing scenes together, we're like pretending to talk to this like animated character that's like sitting in that chair over there.
Got you.
Tracy's clear now. 888.
She never saw Roger Rabbit.
I was confused. I did. I actually had a crush on a homegirl, whatever her name is, with the nice hips.
Tim
Well, the
is
thing
like,
is-
whoa, it went a whole different direction.
But the thing that's good is that after she understood the idea, she still liked it. So
Yes. Thank you, Tim.
888-742-3345. He's talking about the son of Zorn. You know her from Saturday Night Live. Tim Meadows is here, y'all. It's Sway in the morning. Shade 45. Let's talk. Here, the one and only Mr. Tim Meadows. If you want to talk to him, I said 888-742-3345. That's the number where you can speak with Tim.
I wanted to ask Tim this
Sorry.
question because we've had a few SNL cast members. We've had like David Spade, Chris Rock, and for somebody like yourself who's been on there for several years, I've heard different stories about the audition process where some comedians go in and they do their best material. They might be killing it all over the city, different clubs or whatever, and they get 0 laughs.
Right.
Some guys go in and get laughs, but then they don't get picked. So, I mean, is it really kind of intimidating to be in front of those guys and just not know whether or not you did a good job?
Well, I was like one of the lucky ones that didn't have to audition. So I was really, I was very happy because I don't think I would have got the job if I had to audition. I don't know. But they saw me performing in Second City in Chicago, but they kept coming back. Like producers and writers kept coming back to watch our show. And I think when they hired me originally, it was just they were going to hire me as a writer. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know if there was a miscommunication or something, but when I got there, they were like, "Oh no, you're going to be a featured player also. So if you want to write something for yourself, you can, and we'll put it on the show if it's good." And so my first few weeks, I didn't write anything for myself. I just wrote for the show. And then like my third week there, I wrote a sketch and I was like, okay, I'm going to put myself in it and see what happens. And then it got on air. So yeah, so I was lucky. But like you sort of know going in to those auditions for the show, they warn you that you're not going to get any laughs. Like it's going to be really quiet. And it's intimidating. And it's a really good test of if you can handle it.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing in the world like dying on national television in a comedy sketch. There's no replication to it's like America can see you're failing.
Wow.
They can it's on camera, it's being taped. It goes down in history.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And so I think that the audition process really gets you ready for that.
You got some phone calls. People want to talk and ask you questions as well. Cortez, you calling in from Atlanta. Good morning, Cortez. How you doing?
Morning.
Good. Hey, Tracy G, have a big.
Hi.
I'm a big fan of yours, man. I'm a fellow Detroiter too.
Thank you.
And I was listening to the Tahitian Tree comment, and I can't mention that without mentioning Fago, not being from Detroit.
Oh yeah, Fago and Better Made potato chips.
And Verner's and all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
I was
right.
going to ask you, the ladies' man character, was that inspired by somebody from Detroit? The way you play that character, I was wondering that.
Yeah, I did. I brought some of the traits of Leon Phelps, like his dating acumen, was something that I sort of picked up from guys that used to come into this liquor store I used to work at. It was called Vince's Party Store. Vince's Party Store. And
Where was that located in Detroit?
it was on 6 Mile near Joseph Campo.
Oh, okay. On
Yeah.
the east side.
Yeah, on the east side.
Okay.
But there was guys that used to come into Vince's. We used to cash checks, and so for a little charge, of course.
Yeah.
He was in the hood.
Yeah. And so there was a
Let me get a Tahitian treat and some change.
yeah. But there was a meat packing factory next door. So those guys used to come in every Friday to cash their checks. And there was this one guy who used to always he would have on a hair stocking
Cap?
Yeah, but like
Durag?
yeah. Well, no, the kind of like you can keep your hair in
net.
place.
Oh, hair
a
net.
Yes, hairnet.
Yeah.
And he was tall, slender, and he was very cool, and everybody seemed to respect him. And then every Friday he would come in and cash his check, and he'd get a bottle of Cavassier. And then one time I saw him, he came in, and I thought, like, what kind of women would date somebody to work at a meat packing plant? But he would come in sometimes and have like the most beautiful women I'd ever seen. But he'd be on his way out for the night, and he'd be he wouldn't be in like the white, coat covered in blood. He'd be in like a really cool, Detroit style suit, like a Steve Harvey suit, or I don't know.
Whoa.
He'd be in like one of those suits. But then he'd have a really beautiful woman with him, and then he would get like a pint of Cavassier for the road. And I always thought, like, that is so cool, man. He's,
See, he had confidence. He had a lot of confidence, and women like confidence, and they like funny. You confident, and you can make me laugh.
And you can buy some
and you got
liquor.
Cavassier. Hey, we
Right.
got a date. Thank you, Cortez, for your call. You're a citizen of Sway in the Morning. Joe, I had to take your call because you calling from Jersey. Jersey, stand up. Joe, what's up?
You.
Hey, what's up? Happy to be Tracy G, everyone.
Hi.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad I got into the call. Big listener. I had to call. I'm such a big fan of Tim Meadows, like from SNL to all his sub characters is like semi-pro to grown-ups,
Wow.
and especially the ladies, man. I always admire all those characters, even though they're so small. Like, I think they make me to laugh the most on those. And I still use that, like, can I buy you a fish sandwich to talk to girls and shit. It's like a fucking icebreaker. So I just wanted to say, like, congrats on the new TV show. Like, I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, Son of Zorn, September 25th, this Sunday on Fox.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching it.
Okay.
I like to see people get the respect. I just want to ask a question, too. Are you going to be doing any other, like, movies with, like, Will Ferrell or, like, Adam Sandler, Grown Ups 3 or something?
There's nothing planned right now. Adam, he called me a couple weeks ago to ask me to do like just a day, like just in a cameo in this movie that he's shooting now, but I couldn't do it because I was working on something else. I couldn't get away, but So yeah, I mean, hopefully I'm going to be able to do something with him eventually. But no, my career is pretty much, I don't really have plans like that. I just sort of go from thing to thing, and you know, if my friends think of me for a role, then they'll get in touch with me. But I never actively ask my agent, "Oh, what's Will Ferrell's movie? Like, is there a part for me in that?" I just go like, those guys know me. They've known me for 20 years. If they don't think, they don't think of me for a part, it's not because they don't think I'm good. It's just because they are on to something else.
Something else.
Right.
Thank you, Joe, for your call. You're a citizen of Sway in the Morning. Jonathan, you calling in from Jersey. Jersey, stand up. What part of Jersey you in, Jonathan?
I'm from South Times, but I live in Flint, Michigan right now.
Oh, so Detroit, Michigan representing. What you want to say to Tim? Say good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tim. Big fan.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Good luck with everything there, Flint.
Thank you. I just had a quick question. I'm a huge fan of Ladies Man. I was just wondering, would you ever do a Lady Man too?
I would. I would if there was the money there to do it. I wouldn't be the one who tried to drum up I wouldn't start a GoFundMe campaign for Ladies Man too. But no, if the money was there, I would definitely do it. The character, he's so ripe for comedy. It's just it's a funny character, and I can't take credit for the character completely. Hey, there's Farley.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, we watch classic videos here too at Sway in the Morning.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
All
but
right.
Yes, I would definitely do it. So if you want to produce it, my man, come on with it.
Okay.
But Jonathan had to do
He's like,
that.
all right,
He said,
goodbye.
pull out. Hey, citizens, this Sunday, make sure you check out Son of Zorn. It's going to be on Fox, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Support Tim and all his work and everything that he's doing. Good dude, man. And he know about Tahitian treats, too. Anybody that know about that kind of stuff got a place in my heart. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming. Up next, our guest, our friend, he is here. Smarter than everybody in this room, I'm sure. But if you want to talk to Neil, 888-742-3345. He's up next right here, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm talking about, y'all.
It's Sway in the Morning, only
On Shade 45.
Drunk guest is the one and only Mr. Tim Meadows.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim. Sorry
Forgive
about that.
us.
Forgive us.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Hi, and thanks for having me. And I'm leaving. Goodbye, everybody. How dare you?
So tell us about Son of Zorn. All I saw was the word animated, comedy, new hybrid, live action. What does that all mean?
That well, it's Zorn is complicated. It's sort of like the movie Roger Rabbit. Remember that movie?
Yeah, of course.
So in this we know that this country called Zephyria exists somewhere in the South Pacific, and it's an all animated country, and we just sort of accept that. So it's not a shock to us when we see these animated characters walking around in our world. Zorn is a barbarian, sort of like He-Man, and his country is like, this war-torn, ridiculous country. But at one time in his life, he was married to a real-life person played by...
This is Sway. Sway.
Sway.
Sway.
In the morning. In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake wake your punk ass up. That crust on you.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5, 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Citizens, that's the voice of our guest that's here, our next guest. He's unhappy with the clip. Well, let's just be honest. Let's just tell everybody what's going on.
Why?
I
What
told
happened?
DB that too. It sounded like their damn tape was running out. It was like winding
Right,
girl.
yeah. What happened, DB, to the clip?
Cheryl Hines, and they had a baby. And
Cheryl Hines, she used to play the wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
It's a shame. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So she's the wife, and then and Zorn decides to come back and rekindle his relationship with his son and his ex-wife, but he finds out that I'm married to his ex-wife, or getting married. We're engaged.
Tim, why do you take this on? What made you say, "Yep, sign me up for this crazy world"?
I like working. I do, and the guys that were involved in this.
Before we announce who's here.
Yeah, thanks, Wonder. No, because I was trying to find a clip from the series, which is coming on, and I guess the source I used wasn't very reliable because Jason Sudeikis, who voices Zorn, his voice is a little bit pitched down already, right?
Yeah.
For the character, because
Just a little.
it's an animated character. He's kind of like a He-Man type dude.
Okay.
But I guess I didn't really.
No, it sounded like we were drunk in that clip. Like the whole show just
All right.
wasted.
Our unhappy